dudes, on to our next sort of portion of the show. Batman Telltale. Holy shit, man. Telltale, Batman, match made in heaven. We've done a lot of speculation videos on this one. It's finally out. Came out last week, dudes. Get that season pass. Do we like it, dudes? Do we like it? Spoiler free, dudes.
Yeah, because I haven't completed the first episode yet. So
Yeah,
we're
we're going to be doing spoiler reviews of each episode, and they'll be on the YouTube channel, dudes. Check that out. When they're all combined and ready for you to listen once you've finished, we'll probably put it in a podcast, loop it all up, and you can listen to our entire Batman Telltale experience in one go. But Sam, episode 1, Realm of Shadows, what's the dealio?
That was really good, isn't it? No, but yeah. Well, I'm trying to... I don't want to give too much away. You've got to a point where basically one of the best bits in it for me is you get to choose if you can shake Falcone's hand or not. That's a really good bit for me, and that's what I want to delve into most, because I said to you before, I know what Batman's about, really. Like, the ideal of Batman is very set out there, but I've always been more interested now with this Telltale story of how I want to mould my Bruce Wayne, because I feel Bruce Wayne is kind of this changing personality. Like he's like a chameleon, like adapts to situations, you know. And but overall, he's just like this billionaire. He's a bit of like a dick that he doesn't want anyone getting near him. But no, I was really impressed with it. The things that I had reservations about were if the frame rate was going to suck, and there wasn't that many issues with it. To be fair, there were times when it did still, but it was overall quite good. The fighting in it has impressed me because it's one of those things. Well, it was always going to be compared to the Arkham series. With the Arkham series, though, what I'll say is you knew what you were doing. You know, the fighting, or you knew what direction you were going with it in. Whereas the fight scenes in this, you're pressing these buttons and you're waiting to see what these really simple things you have to carry out, but you don't know what he's going to do. So it's like you're being surprised in in so many seconds, and it's working really, really well. But what I will say is, not giving too much away, they were talking about if there was something I've said that you get to choose to approach situations as Bruce Wayne or Batman. There wasn't that in this first episode, so I'm hoping that isn't something they've just kind of swept under the rug. I'm hoping that in future episodes you do get to choose something, because there's a bit where you get to choose who you give documents to, basically, and you get to choose between two characters, and I chose Gordon, and I wanted to choose if I could be Batman giving it to him or Bruce Wayne.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You know, and you only got one choice. And I when I was playing, I was like, I kind of wanted to do it the other way. But it was an interesting take. But overall, impressed by it. Really impressed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I really, really, really liked it, man. I mean, it's Telltale, so I think my expectations were different. You know, I think some people will be like, "Whoa, this isn't the sort of Batman game I'm used to. I'm used to these sort of AAA, big budget, sort of glossy looks." Yeah. The actual sort of comic book look sort of kind of works for me. I like how they've sort of melded the technology side of Batman with a bit more of the classic noir side, which have always, Batman, I love to see him sort of decked out in these really atmospheric, sort of almost black and white sequences. Love that sort of stuff. I was happy with the voice performances as well. Unfortunately, there's still the Telltale issues of, I know you mentioned the frame rate, there are some lag issues still. There's the clunky animations when you're actually controlling Batman during walking segments, which is just forever a problem. I don't know why they do it. It pulls you out of it straight away, doesn't it? Because you've had these great cinematic moments, and all of a sudden you're walking around a semicircle with an invisible line, and you can't move past it.
That was going to be my one gripe, was the fact that the whole interactive walking thing, he's a bit robotic. And when you're mousing over, it's like, whoa, the images going everywhere.
Because I felt like Batman up until that point, you see him in these cutscenes, like these action sequences you mentioned, Sam, and all of a sudden I'm stiff. I'm just can't move and walk properly.
I don't remember Walking Dead being that sort of...
No, but they've always had that. I mean, I remember the Monkey Island game. Man, that was long. I didn't even realise you could run in that game for a long time.
I remember doing that, It's not the PS2 one, it was the ones on PS3.
The Tales of Monkey Island.
Those are Telltale,
Remember that, because you were just walking around everywhere, and I came in your room, and I was just like, is that as fast as you can move? And you were just like, yeah, man, it takes forever. And I was like, you tried like just holding down X and you did it.
Yeah.
And you were just so pissed, you just threw down the controller.
It's because I was stuck in like a maze, so it was like I was walking, and it was like a puzzle maze, so it was like in the jungle, and you had to pick the right route, and I was just walking, getting the wrong choice every time. But yeah, it happens with Telltale. I like, Catwoman we got in here, guys. Harvey Dent is in it. Harvey Dent actually looks a bit too much like an Abercrombie and Fitch model for my liking.
It's a bit too bulky.
Yeah, but I was quite happy with the presentation choices there.
It reminded me of how Thomas Elliott looks in Hush, to be honest, with that sort of like, he's slightly bigger than Bruce, sort of like more chiseled look slightly.
Oh man, I love that guy. Yeah, great villain. Yeah, overall, the choices, you don't quite get that divide, but it is very much, this is what it's like to be Bruce Wayne, as opposed to this is what it's like to be Batman. And they're having some fun with some of the characters. There's a few surprises in terms of characterization of very iconic names that pop up in this, and it's fun for fans. I won't spoil any of it now because I was really surprised with the new takes on very iconic characters, as I say.
Yeah.
And I think there's some exciting room because the logo at the beginning, it's made up of sort of individual sort of iconic Batman covers from his entire sort of 75-year plus history. And you realise, okay, so they're pulling from everything and they're giving us a take, man. And that's what you have to do. You can't do a Zack Snyder and just do the Dark Knight Returns. You've got to blend every kind of element.
Yeah.
We saw it in the Dark Knight movies. Tim Burton did it in his first Batman movie. The animated series pulled from so much. There's a wealth of material here, guys, and push it on screen. A very unique take for Batman in that Telltale first episode. Yeah. So it's out now. You can get the season pass, dude, and there will be episodes coming out in the next few months. There's 5 episodes on this one. And Telltale, man, I just have to say, I love those guys. They're putting out some of the most memorable titles. If you haven't played The Wolf Among Us, I cannot recommend you check that out enough.
I need to, yeah.
If any of you were smart enough to pre-order Batman and get The Wolf Among Us for free, which I did you do that, Steve? No?
No, I didn't.
You ever played Wolf Among Us?
No, I haven't.
Would have been really good if you got it for free, right?